Welcome back, guys. So now that you've gone and practiced the keep, change, we are now going to move on to actually solving for those problems. So now, since we're turning this into addition, you might want to have that pink sheet out that's in the resource tab of your binder that goes over the adding integers to have with you to help you with this, okay? So now we're not just going to do keep, change. We're going to do keep, change, and then solve, okay? So there's a couple examples, but we're going to go a little bit more into depth, and we're going to do numbers 1 through 3 together, okay? So let's take a look at number 1. Number 1 says negative 12 minus 8, okay? Negative 12 minus 8. My first step is going to be keep, change. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep my first number the same, which is negative 12. I'm going to change my minus sign to that addition sign. And then that positive 8 then becomes negative 8. So now, if I'm using my adding integers rules that's found on my pink sheet, I have the same signs. So that's perfect. Same signs means that my answer is going to be negative. So I know right away my answer is going to be negative. So I'm going to equal negative. So now I can just do 12 plus 8. Now I can do that in my head. I can use my fingers. I can use the big number line. I can just easily do 12 plus 8. And 12 plus 8 is 20. So then my answer is going to be negative 20. And there we go. Again, we just followed our same rules as earlier of the adding integers, which we went over yesterday. So now let's take a look at number 2. We have 5 minus a negative 2. So what that means is we're going to keep our first number the same of 5. I'm then going to change my subtraction sign into an addition sign. And then I'm going to want to change my negative to its opposite, which negative 2's opposite is just 2. Now again, I'm adding two positive numbers. Great, that means I'm just going to have positive numbers. So I'm going to do 5 plus 2, and when I do that, I get 7. Okay, pretty simple, easy, basic ones. Number 3, though, is a little bit harder. Number 3 is where we're going to be wanting to use our different signs rules. So again, I'm going to keep, change. So I have my negative 4, change my subtraction to addition, and then my negative 8 then becomes its opposite of positive 8. So now, I've got two different signs now. I've got a negative plus a positive. So that's when I'm going to figure out which number's farther away from 0. Is it my negative 4 or my 8? And looking at this, I can see that 8 is farther away from 0. So how I'm going to set this up now is like over here. I'm going to do 8 minus 4, which then equals 4. So my answer to negative 4 plus 8 is 4. Now, for smaller numbers like this, you can use your number line and everything, but I want you to get used to using this right here, doing your absolute values. Basically, you don't need to write this part down, but you subtract your absolute values, okay? Get used to subtracting your absolute values when subtracting integers, so then that way you can see what's going on, okay? Now, what you are going to do is you are going to do the rest of the questions on the paper. So you have 4 through 30 to do by yourself, okay? You are then going to answer questions 1 through 30 on the formative below. Once you do that, you would then can submit it. Done or not, by the end of the period, I would like this submitted to see how much work you have completed, okay? If you finish early, there is a subtracting integers maze for you to complete that you can grab from the sub. If you have questions, though, please save them for Wednesday, and we'll go over them when I come back. Thanks, guys.